Hi, and welcome back to Food Allergy Love with Lauren. I'm Lauren, and today I'd like to talk about the incredible edible egg, or lack thereof. So if you've been diagnosed with a food allergy to egg, or you're caring for someone who does, you know that the two things that are most difficult is learning how to bake and read food labels, right? Obviously the food labels comes first, so let's talk a little bit about reading for food labels when you are trying to avoid egg. When you go grocery shopping, you are going to want to look for obviously egg on every label, but there's some other things that if it includes these things, it also indicates there is egg protein present. So these are some things you need to know. If you're reading a food label, obviously read for egg powder, egg whites, egg yolks, any of that dried egg obviously is egg. But other things are like albumin, okay, surimi, lysozyme, eggnog has egg in it, all mayonnaise, if you're going with traditional mayonnaise, has egg in it, and meringue powder. Those all have egg in them, okay? So if you see those on a label, steer clear. Red flag should go up, right? And you should put it back, okay, unless it's for you and you don't have an egg allergy. Now, if you see some of these other terms, these are terms that could indicate that an egg protein is present, so you should just kind of be on alert, okay? Anything that says flavoring, natural flavoring, artificial flavoring, it is my biggest kind of annoyance with the food industry. It'll probably soon be yours too, if not already. We don't know what that is, right? That could be anything. And more times than not, when I've called companies, it has included some of the allergens that we are avoiding at our house. I have yet to find that it involves egg, but it always could, so just be on alert. The best thing to do is just call the company. That's what I do a lot of the times. Other things is lecithin. If you see lecithin, same kind of a thing. That could indicate egg, but it may not at all. So if you question it, call the company. Other things, all pasta, macaroni, a lot of them contain eggs, especially things like egg noodles, obviously contain eggs, okay? You can find a lot of pasta that doesn't, but make sure you always read the food labels, okay? Again, also marzipan, nougat, and marshmallows, okay? Especially marshmallow puff almost always contains egg white, but please, please, please always read your food labels. Double, triple check them. Have your spouse or significant other check them for you when you get home, okay? I can't tell you, we must read things 3 and 4 times before I slap a sticker on it that says it's safe for my boys when we're here. Well, that's enough about food label. Let's talk about egg substitution when it comes to baking. You've probably found that baking is the hardest thing when it comes to eating egg-free, right? Because you can't go to your local bakery and buy pumpkin bread or a cookie or a cake or a brownie because they all include eggs. So if you're at home and you're wanting to bake and you're probably scouring the web or something for egg-free recipes. Now you can find egg-free recipes out there. There are vegan books you can buy. I have a lot of recipes on my website because I do a lot of baking and I obviously do not put eggs in ours. But let me just tell you how, because you may realize, wow, that's so easy. I didn't even know that, and now I can do it too, all right? And that's what I want to help you with. So the easiest thing for you to do would be to substitute with applesauce, okay? I use the unsweetened applesauce, but hey, if you want to cut back a little bit on the sugar and add some sweetened applesauce, it would be just fine too. So the best thing to do is just substitute for 1 egg, 1/4 cup unsweetened applesauce. You can also substitute 1/4 cup mashed banana, you know, the good kind that are ready for banana bread, which is what I'll be making later. Mash it up real good. 1/4 cup is all you need. Now, another way you can use the applesauce is you can use 3 tablespoons unsweetened applesauce with 1 teaspoon baking powder. What I would do is you want to mix it up first. So I usually keep those small little ramekins. I would mix them together, whisk it really good before you add it into your baking mix, all right? A couple other things you can use, okay? Egg replacer. They do make egg replacers. There's a couple different brands. Energy is my favorite. This one's also gluten-free. Doesn't have any dairy. It's free of a lot of things, okay? But you can find this. Each one's a little bit different, so make sure you read the box for how you use it. This one, you're going to substitute 1 egg with 1½ teaspoons of the egg replacer with 2 tablespoons warm water. Again, in a little ramekin or bowl, whisk it together really good before you add it in. This is actually really good too. You can use this to replace egg in like a quiche even. And it will look pretty much like an egg-filled quiche, but it's eggless. So you may want to look into this. It's fabulous, all right? Now, my favorite thing when I'm baking, I also really like kind of the nutty taste, but there are no nuts, okay? So don't think I say nutty because there's nuts. It just kind of has that flavor a little bit. I like to use flaxseed meal. This is Bob's Red Mill, okay? I will kind of warn you, this is made in a facility that also manufactures soy and tree nuts. So this might not be safe for you, Actually, when this is gone, we're actually going to change to a different brand for our family because my son does have a tree nut allergy. We've not had a reaction to this, but that doesn't mean you should use it, okay? So I just wanted to kind of preface that since you're looking at it and you're probably thinking, wait a minute, doesn't her son have a tree nut allergy? Yes, we do, so we're going to change. But anyways, you can use this, you can use chia seed, and you can also use salda seed. You use them all in the same way. You're going to substitute 1 egg with 1 tablespoon of the meal or the seed and 3 tablespoons hot water. I always do this at the very beginning before I get all my ingredients out when I'm baking because it needs to sit for a second, all right? I say second, a couple minutes really. Anywhere between 3 and 10 minutes, you're going to wait for it to thicken. 10 minutes would be erring on the safe side. So again, small ramekin, mix it up, let it sit out. You will see that it's thickened. And when that happens, you can add it into your baking mix. One other thing I want to mention that I do not have here to show you because we cannot do soy in our household, but you can also substitute 1 egg with 4 tablespoons pureed silken tofu mixed with 1 teaspoon baking powder. Again, in a small little ramekin, add that together and add it to your baking mix. All the things I've showed you today are really good for substituting anywhere between 1 and 2 eggs. Okay, any more than that, it's just kind of trial and error, okay? So feel free to try it, but it may be a little bit too watery, or that's kind of what you're running the risk of. Also, I'm going to say one more thing. Because you're substituting these things for an egg, it's obviously not exactly the same, and so it may increase your baking time. So just kind of be forewarned. If you only have 45 minutes and that's how long it needs to bake, know that it may not quite be done at 45. Many of the times I found that it is totally ready, but with some breads and things, you may find it needs 5 or 10 more minutes. So just kind of keep an eye on it, all right? Well, that's all the food allergy love I have for today, so stay safe and always carry your Eppies.